What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Mystic Watch. Today, we're back and we're making a video on the KoF dev notes that just came out yesterday. So, I've been doing some stuff, moving around some thingamajigs, but I should be good for some consistency for the next who knows how long. But let's start off on the dev notes, okay? KoF Collab is coming to global. You know what that means? 4 new units. 4 units that Netmarble wants you to spend your money on. Yes. Okay, let's start off by reading the dev notes and see what we got here. Our third collaboration event will be 7 Deadly Sins in KoF 98. The King of Fighters has a long and blah 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 fighting history, blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah, there you go. KoF 98. The 4 units that we get are Kyo, Kusanagi, Rugal, Mai, and Athena. And just as a heads up, I personally think there's nothing written here that says it that this might be a repeat collab sometime in the future. Like this might be a collab that we get again sometime later, but there's no particular reason for that. It just the way the collab is and the IP and everything, it just feels that way. Collab World Quest, pretty much this collab. So start off, this collab itself, I don't care about the IP. I don't care about KoF at all. But the collab was a very good collab on JP. I managed to get all the units. I got the 3 main units, Mai, Rugal, and Kyo to 4-6. And I used them all. I used all the units, and I have a pretty good understanding of how strong each of them are. And the event themselves were pretty cool. We had like a Omega Rugal boss event. We had, you know, a story associated with it. We had like a little arcade fighting mode that they added on. So it was pretty fun. So I thought the event overall was good. I just wished it was a different IP. I'm still a big fan of give me Bleach, give me Fairy Tail as a collab, and yeah, that's what I want to see. Okay, but besides that, coming down here, we have the 4 units. You can see their art. This is the arcade mode that I kind of talked about. It's a little tournament mode. It's a 3v3, and you have to go through the bracket to get some rewards, and they did have a decent amount of rewards in there. Now, the one thing I am curious is they don't have it written anywhere here about Super Awakening. I don't think Super Awakening will come without them giving us a heads up, but I feel like we're kind of getting to the point where Super Awakening is around the corner, and that is, yeah, I don't want to see that. But this is the Omega Rugal boss fight. Of course, the KoF units will be stronger in here, Kyo especially, if you want to go for a high score or farm on Hell mode. Going down a little bit more, new boss battle following Kalek and Ainek. The third night boss, Akumu, is currently in preparation. Going down. Account combat class buff. Currently, it's capped at 2 million. It'll go up to 3 million. That's nice to hear. I'm right at 3 million. I can buff it up to 3 million if I felt like it. I was just a little bit lazy. But that's good to see. It goes up to 4 million on JP, and it hasn't gone above since. So when it came out on JP, it was straight up like 4 million. Here's the thing, they didn't release it in segments, so I don't know if they're gonna release it higher than that. But this is kind of the most important part down here of the dev notes. Also, if you guys ever want to see any of these news, I just checked the 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross forums. Under the news section, you can find everything over here that you need to see. So, from here, this is the most interesting part, right? On a final note, we have a small gift prepared as a form of gratitude. Also be ready for a surprise guest in the forthcoming update. We wish you all the best. This is the new Halloween exclusive Gowther that just came out. Similar to how we have Halloween, Gila, Elaine, and Meliodas out on global. JP just got Shin, Roxy, and then Gowther. Now, this isn't confirming that Gowther is here, but this is his art, and they pretty much alluded to that he is coming. Now, I don't know how I feel about that, because we're going to get KoF, then we're going to get Gowther, and Gowther might not be on the same banner as them, which would really suck. And then if they decide to drop like Goddess Elizabeth afterwards, that'd be really, really rough on global people's pockets. because the KoF units are really cool, but like Goddess Elizabeth, like the festival banners are usually really good, right? Like you're gonna be able to get Lost Vein again if you didn't max them out. You're gonna be able to get Goddess Elizabeth, and usually the other units aren't the random throwaway units on there. They tend to be some of the better units. So let's go over what else do we have. Countdown begins. This is fine. It's just as long as you're logging in, you will get a part 2 ticket and 5 summons. Now keep in mind that the nice thing about this collab is we got 55 summons or 5 multis for free. And this goes up to 600 pity, or whatever you want to call it. The reward counter goes up to 600, and 5 multis will get you 150 out of that 600, meaning you only need to spend 450 gems to finish the rotation, which is really nice. And with that, you might be able to pick up all the units in a single rotation. Because there's 4 of them on a single banner, it actually makes it pretty easy to get all the collab units. So I do like that a lot. It's just, I don't know how they plan on releasing Gowther. If they do, I don't want him to be on a separate banner. It would really hurt, because, you know, you can afford to spend the 450 on the KoF banner, you know, if you miss a unit, whatever. But having to spend another 600 just to get Gowther on a completely separate banner would not be fun. There's also this. Make sure you go like on the social medias, because we will be able to get another part 2 ticket on top of that. And part 2 tickets are always amazing. They always have the best units on them. Part 1 tickets, make sure you save up, because we will get Demon Hendrickson in a little bit, and we want to be able to summon for him. Now, let's go over the units. I'll go over Gowther last, and let's talk about the KoF units very briefly. So the cool thing about this collab is the KoF units are amazing. They are unlike the previous collabs. Slime collab units were borderline unusable. They're pretty much just meme units that you use sporadically, and even like you barely see them even when the rules, like the PvP rules, line up perfectly for them. Then you have the Attack on Titan collab, where Mikasa and Levi get some sunshine depending on the rules of the week, but without it, they are all pretty much unusable. They're still one of my favorite units in the game. Mikasa is still probably my favorite unit. I wish she was a little bit better. But here, on the other hand, these KoF units, especially Rugal, Kyo, and Mai, not only are they usable, they're actually top tier units that go on pretty core teams right now. So to start off, let's talk about Kyo. At the start of every turn, 2 ignite stacks for 3 turns on all enemies. For each ignite effect on the enemy, reduce the damage dealt to allies by 5%. This is insane. Every turn he puts 2 ignite stacks on everyone. Enemies, sorry. And it just keeps going at the start of his turn. It's this is a little bit incorrect wording. It's not the start, it's not every turn, it's only when it comes back to your turn. So if you go first, they'll have 2, then when it comes back to you it's 4, then 6. And you'll only ever have 6 at once, unless you apply additional ignite somehow. But 6 ignite stacks at most means that per unit you are taking 30% less damage. It doesn't combine all together. It's not like you don't look at it as 18 stacks of ignite and you're taking no damage. It's each unit will deal 5% less damage per ignite on them specifically. That's how it works. His 2 moves are Co-Destruction, increase damage per debuff on target, and this is a single target move. Then you have a Scorch down here, which is 25% increased damage per ignite stack. So let's say they have 6, right? 6 is going to be like the standard number over here. He has 6 ignite stacks. This is going to do an additional 120% on rank 1, which is really high, right? That is a very powerful attack. Another 120, we're talking about 290. And, you know, for example, units like Escanors are only like, what, 200, something like that, their percentage. Or the golden standard is like Meliodas, OG Meliodas, who does no additional effect. He has 240% multiplier. So if this is doing 290, it's really good. Then you have Scorch here, which is AoE, and the same 6 ignites will do, instead of 120, this will do what? 150. 150 extra damage AoE. For an AoE move, that is a lot of damage. But that's really what he does. Now the thing with Kyo is, oh, this is also a pretty cool move, right? It's a single target move, but it applies ignites onto all the enemies. So it hits one person, but it does 2 ignites onto every single unit. Now the thing about Kyo is, you typically want to go HP defense on him because you want him to survive for the ignite. We swear, you want him to survive for the ignite stacks. That's really it. Now let's move on to Rugal. Rugal is, I'm going to spend less time going over the units, but Rugal is essentially Blue Demon Meliodas, Pierce, but better. His passive is when the hero survives with HP below 50%, he full heals, removes all debuffs, and increases his stats by 15%. So you have to either burst him down from above 50%, or deal with him doing way more damage. Pierce on the first move. Second move decreases attack related stats. This move is okay, this is just good enough, but once he comes out, Pierce comes back, and it's just, you have a Blue Demon Meliodas card, you have a Rugal card, and they just die, right? Like, if you get another card from either one of the two, it's usually a full wipe on turn 1. Charge to one enemy, it's fine. Rugal is simple, but he's busted. Mai is when the hero skills are ranked up, increase basic stats by 15%. This also counts by simply combining the cards. So you can do it with Gowther, or you can just combine the cards like that, and it works just fine. Her moves, deplete 1 ultimate gauge, single target. Same move we have on like Red Hellbrum, Green Merlin. Then we got Amplify over here, but it's an AoE Amplify. Down here we get, single target and ranks up her cards. So she's also really good as well, does some stupid amount of damage, and good for ultimate gauge control. But of the 3, I'd say she's the least used. And then Athena is not really used at all. I've seen her occasionally in Guild Wars, but in PvP I've never seen her in my life. When allies defeat enemies on allies' turns, reduce all enemies' ultimate gauge by 2 orbs at the end of your turn in PvP. So it's PvP specific. And then it's just single target, cancel stances, then stuns. But when are you going to get a rank 3? Probably never. Then you got Detonate. It's just not that good. Cancel stances and flicks attack. She's really not that used. Her stats themselves are okay. She has a pretty high crit chance and crit. Like, she can crit easily, but that's about it. Kyo kind of busted. Rugal kind of busted. Mai a little bit less. But these two are kind of the kings that you want to go after when it comes to the KoF banner. And then let's take a look at the Halloween Gowther to wrap it up. He has the same rank up, same ultimate. His passive is increases all allies' attack related stats by 7% at the start of every turn, a limit 5 times. If all allies in the battle are of different races. This only means the people on the field. So if you're building a team, you only need the 3 units on your that are currently out to be different. So if Gowther is unknown, you have a human, and then you have like a demon, then there you go. You've met the requirements. And if someone dies and it changes afterwards, you know, whatever, but you don't need all 4 units to be unique. Pretty much he's like a green, he is red Gowther, somewhat power crept. Like this passive is really easy to get off, but it also restricts your team building to an extent. You can't just toss it on any team, you need to actually think about the passive when working around it. And then his other move is inflicts damage equal to 120% AoE, depletes 1 ultimate gauge at the end of the enemy's turn. Which is a decent move. It's good for ultimate gauge control. You can argue that the attack seal might be better, here it is. So this is the new Gowther, definitely a must summon unit. This is just dumb. Like his passive is just dumb. I'm sorry. That's about it. So these are the new units coming up. I'll definitely make videos on the banners when they come out on global about, you know, how good the banners themselves are, like depending on Gowther's situation, because it's an awkward time, right? Saving for Goddess Elizabeth, like you want the 900 gems summoned for her, but you're not sure if you can. That's it for now. Hopefully you enjoy, and I'll see you all next time.